details, visit paysbig.com/big one. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
At Prevea, we do things differently because we're led by doctors who specialize in you. How do we do it? Let's hear from the doctors, just like me, who practice at Prevea.
At Prevea Health, we're led by doctors
who really care about you. That's why our patients
are always treated with patience.
And the first treatment we prescribe
is kindness.
Prevea Health, doctor-led, specializing in you.
It's time to turn off ringers and cheer for dingers with US Mode from US Cellular. Whether you're in the stadium or listening to the game on the radio, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and other Brewers fans. US Cellular is all about a healthier relationship with technology. That means when the game is on, notifications go off. Take the US Mode pledge and commit to more meaningful game days. On game days, set your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Brew Crew with your crew. US Cellular, built for us.
Get up! Get out of here and go!
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All that for that. All of that for that. That's how it ends. 11-10 in 10 innings, the Brewers fall to the Diamondbacks. They played such a better game than that score indicates. We will talk about the decision right off the top here to not use Devin Williams in the bottom of the 10th inning with the 2-run lead. We will talk about Brian Bannister deciding to intentionally walk Bryce Terang to pitch to Jackson Chourio. Shocker, it didn't work out for the Diamondbacks. Chourio lines a 2-run double. That gets overshadowed. Chourio's 3-run homer gets overshadowed. The great effort by Joe Ross gets overshadowed. All because we're left here with more questions than answers. If Devin Williams was up warming and then not come into the game, and then up again while the 10th inning is unraveling, why is he not getting in the game? And the answer, according to Kurt Hogue of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, quoting his tweet here just a moment ago from Pat Murphy, paraphrasing, is they were closely monitoring Devin Williams' workload and wanted to get him up in case there was a spot to face a hitter or two, but not more than that. They felt good about Koenig's chances after a clean 9th inning. Well, Jerry Augustine, as I welcome you into the program, the 10th inning is not the 9th inning. You start with the tying run off the plate in the 9th inning. And I want the guy who's getting loose, Devin Williams, to be available right there. And if there's ever a time for the guy to be available for a batter or two, it's in a 2-run game in the bottom of the 10th inning. I'm flabbergasted. This doesn't erase everything good that Pat Murphy has done this year. If there was an error column for managers, man, there'll be a couple of them in this game for both of these teams. They lose the game. It's not solely on Jared Koenig's shoulders, quite frankly. I'm still at a loss for words for why Devin Williams got loose, didn't get into the game, and then Pat Murphy says he was only going to face a batter or two. None of that makes any sense to me.
First of all, Dom, are you okay? Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
You know, baseball is such a weird game. It is. You see, when you get to this time of the year, managers sometimes go in, they overthink a little bit of what they're doing, and they try to make a move that they think is the best move to go away the game is going. But the one thing about the game of baseball, a lot of times it doesn't go that way. And that's exactly what happened today. You saw Bannister make a decision by walking Terang to pitch to Chourio, who's probably one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball, and he hits a fastball as good as anything. That was not especially because he had a left-hander up in the bullpen. He could have pitched it to Terang with the pitch that was on him out, or he could have brought in the lefty on lefty, and the lefty is a good pitcher against left-hand hitters. You make decisions sometimes with ideas of saying, you know what, I'm going to keep a guy out there. I'm going to try to make it a positive outing, make something positive out of this. Bannister tried to do it, and it failed. We scored 2 runs. Then the next thing. I really don't. One more thing, Dom. I'll get you right back in. The one thing about letting Koenig go back out there, I think if there's only 1 run that scores, I think Devin Williams is in the game. I just think he is. 1 run. But with 2 runs that were scored, Koenig is the inning before touching 99, throwing the ball really well, exploding the ball in the strike zone. I think that had a little bit to do why he went back with Koenig. I really believe that.
I think with the other decision that comes in all of this, too, is the fact that I think going into this game, we knew the bullpen was going to be thin, and that's okay. Like, the Brewers understood that, especially being down 5-0 at one point in this game, you're thinking, okay, leverage bullpen's going to get a breather today. Then all of a sudden you take an 8-5 lead, and you're like, okay, I guess leverage bullpen has to be available today. And my thought was going to be one or the other was going to be available today, either McGill or Williams, given they have now pitched in 4 of the 6 games on this road trip. And, oh, by the way, this team doesn't have another off day for a week. And, oh, by the way, you're facing the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. I understand win tonight is this team's motto. It's a cool motto. I'm not discrediting that in the slightest. But when you find yourself straddling win tonight and I got to make sure I have a guy ready to go for the Phillies series, you find decisions like tonight where you're stuck like, well, I got to manage Devin Williams' workload, and I got to manage Trevor McGill's workload, and now Payamps has been hurting, and he hasn't been pitching all that much lately because of how much we've used him in the past, and now it's a credit card. As I've said this before, the credit card payment is due. The interest is on it, and now you're sitting here thinking, if I can somehow get Cannon to get through 2 innings, and maybe only Devin faces 1 or 2 hitters, and what's the difference if Devin walks 2 batters and he's like, let's say he comes in for the final 2 outs or whatever, and he walks 2 batters, and all of a sudden he throws 25 pitches in the inning when you're only going to try to have him throw to 2 batters. It's like you can't straddle that line. You either win tonight or you stick to your guns. I think none of this gets this reaction if Devin never warms up, right? I think that's what we're all reacting to is the fact that we saw Devin Williams warming up, indicating, oh, he's available. And then to not go to him is why everyone is thinking, well, why would you get him up if you're not going to use the closer? I mean, you get up guys and you sit them down throughout the course of a game. That's very normal. You don't do that with the closer, especially with a 2-run lead.
Yeah, your closer's your closer. Hey, that's an excellent point. And, I wrote down a couple things as I was watching the game and after it transpired. Why he probably did. First of all, before the game, they talked about McGill and they talked about Devin Williams using him 4 out of 6 days. That they got some big series coming out. There's a lot of season left as far as that goes, and I think they said we're going to use caution whenever they could. I think first of all, I think the 2 runs had a lot to do with it. It really did. I think the 2 runs allowed Murph to make a decision that maybe he would not have made if they only had the 1 out. I think, secondly, the way McKinnon threw the ball in the 9th inning, hitting 99, commanding the strike zone, threw the ball really well. I think that had a lot to do with what he wanted to do. And he wanted to do what you want to do with Kinnick. You want to get him as much success as possible. Here was a great opportunity of coming in the game and getting a win and finishing the game, and the Brewers number goes down to 2. And the third reason I thought is, like we just said before, Devin 4 out of 6 games. What did he want to do? If he was going to put him in the game with that opportunity to win, it was going to be the least amount of pitches that he possibly could throw. Yeah, could he go in the game and walk some guys? Yeah. Could he go in the game and give some hits? Could he give home? Yes, that could happen. But the way he's been throwing the ball, they wanted to limit him the amount of pitches that he threw. I think another thing that, Dom, that had something to do with that, and you could maybe give your thoughts on it, McGill's inning. They had thrown 4 out of the last 6 days. McGill wasn't sharp today. He couldn't get his breaking ball over. He was expanding the strike zone, couldn't go down in the strike zone, overthrowing a little bit. And I think when you put all those things in, Murph is trying to settle in and say, what can I do there? He tried to do the best of both evils and say, you know what? Kenny deserves this. We're up 2 runs. I'm going to give him a shot. And it just didn't work out.
And McGill, you're right. I mean, again, if the Brewers won or lost this game without using Trevor McGill or Devin Williams, I think every fan would understand why. They've been overused. They've got a big week coming up. It's hard to be a manager. No one is disputing that. They're in the middle of 13 in a row against quality opponents. They've used them a ton. Again, if they were up in this game 8-5 and they never went to McGill and they never went to Devin Williams, fans understand why. But the fact that you went to McGill for a fourth time out of 6, he gives up a run. The fact that you got Devin up and didn't use him, and then not using him makes fans confused. And furthermore, more news coming out of this game as well. One of my questions was, why did Yoel Payamps only get one batter? Well, he's dealing with forearm tightness. This is something we've been talking about for a while with Yoel now, Augie, is the fact that he's been used a ton and not necessarily in games. These teams all keep track of how much you throw in the bullpen when you're getting warm, when you're getting hot, how many times you've been told, get ready, you're going in, and then maybe the game changes and you're suddenly not going in. That still counts. That's still warming up. That's still putting innings on your arm that don't actually impact the box score. And now that credit card payment is due with Yoel Payamps. So it's a frustrating loss because everything that could have gone wrong, it was, beg your pardon, but it was Murphy's Law, not Pat Murphy, but Murphy's Law, the old phrase of everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. McGill gave up a run. Devin never got in the game, and now Yoel Payamps might be hurting.
There's a lot going on when you talk about Yoel Payamps hurting a little bit and being used in a bullpen. I think when everybody has their mode or their routine that they use in getting ready for a game, and there's a lot of pitchers really that go and when they warm up do not throw 100% until the manager's just walking out, and then they'll throw a couple hard ones. They'll throw each pitch, get that good feel for the pitch, and I think it doesn't wear on your tear as much. I can remember back, Dom, when I was the only lefty in the bullpen, and Harvey had used me like 15 or 16 straight days. I only got in probably 4 or 5 games, but I was up every day. And I remember that after the game was over, that last game, we had a day off. Harvey called me in the office. He said, "Hey, Augie, I just want to let you know, I'm going to give you tomorrow off." And it made me smile, and I enjoyed the day off. But I told Harvey, I said, "You know what? I don't throw hard. I just get loose and feel comfortable where I'm throwing. And then when I see you coming out of that bullpen, now I amp up for 4 or 5 pitches." And I think the technique on everybody is the bullpen not getting a game does wear on you, but it doesn't wear on you as if you're getting in the games. And these are things that these pitchers do. They're routines. Everybody's different. Some guys have to throw hard every time. And now we got a thing with Yoel. That's why they only probably used him that 1/3 of an inning, is because he is experiencing that and they want to get him as much rest as possible. But you don't warm up in the bullpen the same. It's not the same as getting in the game.
It's pretty weird finish to this game. The Brewers fall 11-10 in 10 innings to the Diamondbacks. They won the series. The magic number doesn't move. The Phillies won, so they further their distance here in the 1-seed race. They're at 90 wins. The Dodgers right now, they are trailing the Braves 2-1 in the top of the 6th inning, so the Brewers could remain 1 game back in the record there against L.A. But the point of the matter is the Brewers are now 4 games back against the Phillies, so even with a sweep, they wouldn't have the lead and are not even guaranteed to have the tiebreaker. So pretty frustrating to lose this one, given they had chances to win it. There was still positives to pull from this game. Before we get to some of those positives, I do want the listeners here, right here in the first segment, to hear what Pat Murphy had to say about the Devin Williams move, or lack thereof, there in the 10th inning.
Yeah, it was a consensus decision. Devin's thrown a lot lately, and we got to think of, we're still in this 13-game stretch, and if we brought Devin in for one hitter, a specific hitter or something like that, we could have done it with 2 outs or something like that. He was available, but not for any extended period. So if you put him in the game with no outs or something like that, then there's potential he's got to throw a high number of pitches and he's not available. That would have been 4 out of 6, and then he wouldn't be available for a while. And we'd already used McGill, and we wanted to try to get through it. They had a lot of left-handed hitters coming. We wanted to get through it early, and if we got to 2 outs, then we could use Devin. Didn't work out that way. I mean, we had plenty of opportunities to do things, and that was the consensus. That's how we wanted to create it in the last inning. We had left-handed hitter and another left-handed hitter coming. We had to avoid Marte, but then we felt like it was.
So
it didn't work out.
So was Devin only available for a hitter, not a full inning?
That's what I wanted. I wanted him to be available for a short period, if at all. So if we got to that 2-out period, I would have brought him in. And
yeah, okay. I mean, again, it goes back to what I said a moment ago, Augie. Then we'll go to our break here. Okay, let's say he comes in for one hitter. If he walks the guy or if it becomes a long AB, it's like now you're stuck. To me, the way it would have gone today is neither McGill nor Williams would have been available. That's just the way I would have gone for it. And win or lose, you can understand why they would not have been available. Trying to straddle this win tonight, I got to save him 13 in a row, creates chaos and creates situations like tonight.
You know, Dom, I agree with what Murph said. I see what they're trying to do is they were trying to use him just for that 1 out or the one hitter. And is there a possibility of throwing more pitches? I think the pitching, the way it went, did Koenig know he was going out for that next inning? Did he finish the ninth inning and think he was done? And really, when you come out of the game and you're kind of guy who pitches one inning, you kind of set your kind of intensity goes down. Then you got to rack up your intensity again. Was that the situation there, or were they undecided exactly where they're going? That's another interesting point because when Koenig went out there, he had no idea where he was throwing the ball. Wasn't throwing strikes, didn't command like he did in the ninth inning, and struggling a bit. So when you're in the game and you go into those types of situations, you have to maintain that you're going to stay ready, but at the same time you got to understand what the situation is and how Murph is going to go about in using the pitching staff at the end of a game.
And then the last thing I'm going to make on this is it's not totally on Devin or lack thereof or McGill or to Koenig or anything like that. I mean, this team had an 8-5 lead with a thin bullpen, and then Yoel going down with forearm tightness. Didn't see that coming, obviously, to say the least. That probably altered the plans today, too. But the other thing that we haven't addressed at all is DL Hall giving up 5 runs in 3 innings. He's not absolved of guilt in this either. He chose a bad time to have a clunker and to lose command today. He could have got through that 3rd inning, but then a 2-out rally formed out of nowhere, so that's something to keep in mind here as well. I hate being this negative and this down in the dumps about it, but it's just a game that you felt like you had a chance to win and probably should have won, but did not get it done. We are way overdue for a commercial break. We will take it right here. Back with more after this. Brewers Extra Innings here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Time is running out on the Brewers regular season. Hurry up and catch the crew battle the Diamondbacks September 20th through the 22nd for College Night and a Brewers Puffy Vest giveaway on the 21st. Get your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
What does your retirement look like? With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible retirement income strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses so you can reach your wealth's full potential. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Advisory services offered by Fidelity Personal and Workplace Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor for a fee. This advertisement is brought to you by Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Okay, a tough one to swallow. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. You can call in. You can text in. A lot about Devin. I think we've covered that pretty well to this point. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Jerry Augustine is here as well. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, a local Milwaukee team. Fifth Third Bank knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years, offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities, all to help your business succeed. It's commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. So let's talk a little bit about I'm stuck on it. DL Hall today. DL did not have his best stuff, to say the least here, Augie, and poor timing for it because he had pitched so well since coming back from the injured list. And I look at that third inning. He got the first 2 outs quickly, walked Josh Bell, hits Jake McCarthy, walks Perdomo. The base is loaded, and with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Pavin Smith pulls a double down the right field line to score 3 runs. That was the moment it was like, all right, this was not his day. He was not sharp. He was missing big with the breaking ball. He was getting some swings and misses on it, but when you're not sharp in the big leagues to the tune of 3 walks and a hit batter, you're going to get exposed against the best offense in the game.
Yeah, he's coming back, and he's a style of pitcher. He's got really good stuff. When you talk about the good fastball he has and he can locate it, sometimes he throws that two-forcing fastball up in his zone. He can expand the strike zone a little bit. But I think he's built off of being able to get secondary pitches over the plate. His changeup, I thought he struggled a little bit with today. I thought he threw some really good pitches down. And I thought he threw some really good breaking balls. But it comes with being able to command your fastball in the strike zone early. When you can command the strike zone with your fastball and get ahead of hitters, that makes your secondary pitches just that much better. I think he struggled a little bit with everything today, not commanding the fastball like he wanted to and pitching ahead and locating it in good spots. But I think when he got there, sometimes he overthrew his breaking ball, and it was too far out of strike zone. Wasn't nibbling at the corners. Wasn't just outside expanding the strike zone. And I think that's where he had to struggle. And sometimes, you get out there, you get an opportunity, you get a start, you get overly aggressive. And I thought his mindset was, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to go right after hitters. And I think it took him out of his nice, relaxed place where he focuses, gets good command, and throws strikes.
He threw 33 fastballs today. Only 18 of them were strikes. That's barely over 50%. That's something that you're looking more to be like 2/3 of a strike rate when it comes to your fastball. To be at 53% is sort of there's your answer right there, and it explains why with the walks and the hit batters at this point in the game. I want to ask you, too, about tempo, Augie. DL Hall is a guy that loves to work fast. And I will never complain about a guy working fast like Wade Miley, like Brent Suter, and those guys that we've seen here. But it felt like to me, and this is a total observation from a guy that's never been on that mound, so take it with a grain of salt. You have. That's why I'm asking. We all like it when pitchers move fast, but can it be a detriment when you are struggling with command where he never took a breath? He just kept going and going and going, and it's just like he was trying to pitch his way out of it in a way of, I just got to throw it again. Just give me the ball, let me throw it again. Just give me the ball, let me throw it again. And it becomes this cycle of he's sped up and he can't get back into rhythm.
Let's date back a little bit and when he's coming out of the bullpen. He's throwing the ball so well out of bullpen. His breaking ball was sharp. His fastball, he's locating. He was making the ball move. His changeup was very good. He had a really deliberate tempo. He had good pace and rhythm. He was slowing the game down, exploding with the fastball. Think about getting ahead of strikes. He was just in a good, relaxed state. And sometimes when you're a starting pitcher, you get on that mound, and every time it's a little bit different because you're starting a game. You're trying to find that tempo. You're trying to find that pace and rhythm that you need to feel comfortable. And I think when you're like DL Hall, who hasn't started in a little while and has been limited on his starts, got an opportunity to start, went through his regular routine, the throw. I think he got in there, and I thought today his tempo was a little quicker than I usually see him. I thought he was getting the ball and just saying, put a number down, I'm going to throw it. Sometimes you get in that routine because you have so much confidence in the guy behind the plate. You get on the mound, you just go, 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 go. And I think he needed to do his step off, slow the tempo down just a tad, and understand what he was trying to do. And I thought the tempo, speeding it up, took him out of his good zone and his good focus and his good execution, which he really needs.
In a brief bright spot from this as well is that Joe Ross pitched very well in extended relief out of the bullpen, and then it flipped back to Aaron Ashby allowing his first runs as a reliever since coming to the Brewers, and he pitched well, but I thought in all of that, and it was tough because let's go back to the 7th inning here. a leadoff double for Josh Bell in Ashby's second inning of work. Then McCarthy grounds out, moves to runner in third. And at this point, the Brewers are leading by 3. It's 8-5. Perdomo battles for a 9-pitch AB. You tip your cap, RBI single. But at that point, you're like, okay, runner on first, 1 out, lefty Dew and Pavin Smith. No, they go to the righty and Randall Grichuk. And he's the pinch hit specialist, the left-handed hitter specialist. And knowing what we know now, where they were trying to stay away from Devin Williams, where Yoel Payamps was slow to get moving and slow to get hot, which he eventually came into this game to face Ketel Marte. But also, to be fair, Aaron Ashby had been rolling, and you had seen him get righties out as well, and Randall Grichuk tags him for an RBI double, and then he got one more out on a fielder's choice later in the inning. But I don't think that was so much of a moment for Murphy to say, I got to go get Payamps right here because they brought in Randall Grichuk, because also Payamps was just starting to get loose. But furthermore, Ashby has proven that he can handle righties and lefties. I'm fine. I really am fine with Ashby getting that at-bat against Grichuk. Grichuk just had the better at-bat, and his track record as a pinch hitter has been this is where he thrives. So you could say, you should have brought in the righty. It doesn't matter. He still has a pinch hitter. He's been very, very successful in that role.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, going to Joe Ross, the way he's improved himself, he actually, if I remember correctly, moved a little bit on the mound. Usually left-handers pitch on the left side, right-handers on the right side. Joe Ross has gone where he's moved over to the left side of the mound where he gets a better angle with that ball that cuts back over the plate to inside to left-handers. He's got his sliders a lot quicker. So he changed himself to make the angles better, and it's really paid off for him. I thought today with Aaron, I thought he was overthrowing the ball just a little bit. His velocity was up there. We saw one, I think, a couple at 99, the way he was throwing the ball. But when he gets successful, when he gets ahead of hitters, he can throw that off-speed breaking ball. The ball was up a little bit, kind of out of what he usually does. He usually gets that breaking ball down in the zone, and he throws his fastball up in the zone. And then he goes to where he throws back foot cutters or back foot sweepers, whatever you want to call it, and he's successful at that. He got away from that today. He didn't throw a lot of them. The ones that he threw, he struck guys out, or he got strikes, or he had guys swinging early in counts. I think Suarez, he threw a slider down and had him swinging at it because the ball was down, and it's that back foot slider that he usually has. So I thought he was overthrowing just a little bit today, a little bit out of his usual routine today, trying to come and make a big difference. So, these guys, with their young pitchers, they're still learning, and they got to learn when they come in the game. It's about what you just talked about earlier. It's about that tempo. Coming in the game, being relaxed, going out and execute what you do the best. And when they do that, they throw the ball very well.
So let's all take one big deep breath together, okay? We're all going to do this at the same time here at the top of the hour. Just go in and out. Because now we get to talk about Jackson Chourio. We get to talk about the offense. We get to talk about the good stuff that happened in this game. That's coming up after the break because, man, oh, man, I got some stats for you about Jackson Chourio. More about him after the break on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
The final summer sales drive is going on now at the International Autos Group. Get spectacular savings of up to $15,000 and 0.9% financing is available for 60 months. Every model in our 2,000 car inventory is priced to sell. The International Autos Group, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Sheboygan, and Brown Deer. Or at IAAutogroup.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Financing with approved credit, $1,709 per month per $1,000 financed on select models.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My house looks gorgeous. It's the envy of the neighborhood. You know why? I had CertaPro painters come out and paint the outside of my house. Man, did they kill it. Knocked it out of the ballpark. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here. They do outside, exterior, big time. They also paint inside. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're the real deal. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy. With free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Breathing triangle problems negatively affect your sleep, making it hard to be at your best. Balloon sinuplasty can help solve these problems so you can breathe well, sleep well, and live better.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall 11-10 in extras to the Diamondbacks. They still won the series. They don't get the sweep. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. So at this point, this is the line of demarcation, okay, Augie? If you want more bullpen chatter, if you want more, oh my gosh, Murphy blew it, we're done with it. No more. We've said our piece over the last two segments. I'll play Pat Murphy's comments in full later on in the program. But now we're moving on, all right? So let's talk about the kid that's extended, that is 20 years old, and is legitimately a Rookie of the Year candidate. I'm ready to start stumping, man. With 2 weeks to go, he's got a shot. He really does. Because tonight, once again, Jackson Chourio showed the baseball world why he is about to have it in the palm of his hand. 3 for 6, a triple, a homer, 5 runs batted in, 0 strikeouts today. His season line now, he is hitting .276. Mind you, the dude woke up in the 1st of June hitting .202. He was barely above the Mendoza line for a little bit. He has been an incredible piece for the Brewers. He got a triple today on a guy that was throwing 103-mile-an-hour sinkers. And in the StatCast era, nobody has hit a ball as hard as Jackson Chourio just did for a base hit on a pitch 103 miles an hour or harder. He is yours. He is 20. He is here for 8 years guaranteed. Man, oh man, every day the legend of Jackson Chourio grows.
You know, take his last at bat when he hit the triple with the two guys on base. Most players would go up. You have a guy throwing 100 to 103 miles per hour who has a little bit of a split, a pretty good slider, and you go up there and you say, hey, I'm just going to wheel it. I'm going to go up and I'm going to swing, and I'm going to hit the ball as hard as I can. That's my job. That's what I got to do. This is a 20-year-old kid that goes up there that doesn't try to dictate to the pitcher what he's going to do. He doesn't go up there swinging hard and driving the ball out of the ballpark. What does he go? He goes up there to execute. A good hitter with a guy throwing that hard will look for a pitch away and go with the pitch. Exactly what he did. When he swung it and he hit the ball and the ball went in the corner, I literally could not believe it. A young guy, 20 years old, going up there, having that much composure, going up to execute, not trying to overdo it, but letting the ball travel, being patient at the plate, slowing down the game, and hitting the ball where it's pitched. It's unbelievable. When you talk about Rookie of the Year, I'm telling you, I agree with you, Dom. Is there anything that this kid can't do on the field? He's getting so much better in the outfield. He's playing very good. But on the offensive side, his patience at the plate has just been spectacular. And I don't think right now there's a better hitter in all of baseball.
I mean, legitimately, you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I've been talking about this with Vinny Routino, friend of the program, former Brewer over on Valley Sports Wisconsin, where it's like, not only is Jackson Chourio the best hitter on the Brewers right now, he might be the best hitter in the National League, and no one would even do a double take. I'm serious. He might be the best hitter in the National League right now. Go look at the numbers. Since this stretch began, he might be the best. I'm going to pull them up right now, actually, as we're here on the radio, just to kind of bolster my case, because he can do it with the triple, like you said, and man, the fact that mature at-bat to, understand, hey, I'm probably going to be ready I got to be geared up for the fastball here. If he beats me with the splitter, he beats me with the splitter. But it goes back to the old thing that my view of guys that are flamethrowers, like Martinez is. When you mess around with the splitter and the slider, it always comes back to, hey, man, you throw 100, just throw that. And that was the scenario. It's like, hey, man, you throw 100, just throw that. And it just still boggles my mind that Bannister and the Diamondbacks decided, we want to intentionally walk Bryce Terang to face Jackson Churio. I understand how platoon splits work and right on right and how Martinez is better against righties than lefties and all this stuff. Look at me with a straight face and tell me you want to face Jackson Churio. 29 other managers would tell you absolutely not. And, of course, it comes back to Burnham.
It sure did. You know, if you think about it, and we talk about it a lot, and you just mentioned it before, if you go back 84 games ago, his batting average was .202, and everybody was trying to figure out what was Jackson going to do. How was he going to be able to handle the type of player you have to be on a major league level? How is he going to progress himself to become a major league player? Is he ready? Should he go back? Does he need some time in the minors to get himself righted? And here's a kid who's just taken over. You look at the last 4 games, he's hitting around 310. He's got 60-some RBIs. He's got 15 home runs. But when you can see, since he's been put in the number 1 or number 2 slot, I don't think there's a game that he hasn't contributed on the offensive side in some way, shape, or form. It might be getting a run over. It might be hitting the ball opposite field and doing small ball. It might be hitting the ball out of the ballpark when nothing was going on. But when you look at those 84 games, I don't know if there's a better player in all of baseball that contributed to his team and how this team is playing and how they're winning than Jackson Churio. He has done just so much. I still can't believe that ball he hit today. This guy's thrown 103, gets the ball away from him. I'm sure it was up a little bit, but what does he do? He just stays back, lets the ball travel, and just puts the ball in play. It's just veteran player type hitting that you see out of a kid who's 20 years old.
So when you look at the numbers for Churio, National League only, as I'm changing the league right now, he's only trailing, like, overall in baseball, he's only cheering guys like Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. and Yordan Alvarez, okay? And those guys are all American League hitters, and they're all incredible hitters. When you toggle it to the National League, since June 2nd, Jackson Churio leads baseball in batting average, leads the National League in batting average. Jackson Churio leads the National League in batting average better than Luis Ariz, who hasn't struck out in like a year. His on-base percentage is .370, which is the 4th best in baseball, 4th best in the National League, only behind Ozuna, Schwarber, and Harper. His slugging percentage is .559. Mind you, as a 20-year-old corner outfielder, .559 is 4th best, only behind Shohei, Eugenio Suarez, and there's that guy, Jackson Merrill. His OPS is .929 since June 2nd, 3rd best behind only Shohei and Eugenio Suarez. That's what we're talking about. That's the company he's keeping right now since he turned it on. Shohei Ohtani, Suarez, Harper, Schwarber. That is some freakish Rookie of the Year caliber company for Jackson Churio.
You know, I'm going to take you back to one part of this game, Dominic, and you can contribute if you still want to. But, okay, Gallen's on the mound. He's thrown the ball very well. He just has great stuff. He's got a good breaking ball. He's got Churio up, and I think the count was 1-2. He threw him a really good breaking ball that could have gone either way. I think if you remember, it was right on the framework of the strike zone on the inside part and down. He was called the ball. What he did, the next pitch he came back. Great pitchers can duplicate pitchers, just make the pitch better. That's exactly what Gallen did. He threw another breaking ball, but what did he do? The first pitch they called was low. He just raised it up a little bit. What does Churio do? He goes down, hits it, bang. It's just a special type of player that can make those adjustments against some great pitching. That, again, beside the swing and the hit he had in the 10th inning, that at-bat against Gallen, because he was coasting, it looked like he was on his way. He hit one of the toughest pitches that Gallen has thrown. I think Gallen has only given up like 2 home runs off that breaking ball all year so far. Jackson Churio has one of them.
Yep, exactly that. That's the number I was going to give. And when it comes to how talented he's been this year in getting a guy like Gallen, an ace, a bona fide ace, is great. Now, last thing when we talk offense, then I'll let you go, Augie. We got to talk about Eric Haas because he goes 3 for 5. He hits a clutch go-ahead 2-run home run. He almost got one there in the 10th inning, too. Haas continues to do something well every time he starts a game. And he's arbitration eligible. I'd be absolutely shocked if the Brewers do not tender him a contract, because he has been worth his weight in gold and then some. As an unsung hero, a third-string catcher that every time he gets in the game, he is impacting it. And oh, by the way, he's now hitting .309 in limited playing time in just, what is this now? It's about 60 plate appearances. He is hitting, not getting to play every day, and man, when he hits them, they stay hit. He's got 5 homers now, despite not playing the entire season.
Boy, what a pitch he hit for the home run. He jumped on that and he hit the ball. I mean, what a great swing he put on that ball. But even he just missed the home run later on in the ball game. You know, he's done such a good job. And you look at a guy who's been involved with the club. Yes, he doesn't get a lot of chance to play. He doesn't get a lot of at-bats. But I'm going to tell you what, he puts his work in every day to become a good ball player and to stay a good ball player. I think he's done an excellent job behind the plate with pitchers. He stays on top of it. He talks to the pitchers. You can see him between innings. One thing I really like about him, and I used to like catchers, when I was struggling with something or I was throwing the ball good and he wanted to accentuate anything in the game, as soon as that inning's over and I'm walking off, they walk right up to me and say, good job. Hey, this worked really well. Hey, let's stay with it, or something like that, or wait till you get to the bench. You see him do that all the time. I think defensively he's done an excellent job. But on the offensive side, he's really swinging the bat well. He did play in the big leagues with the Detroit. Said he had 20 home runs. I can see why, because he has a good approach at the ball at the plate. So he's done such a great job. And I'll tell you what, I agree with you. If they don't tender him a contract, it'll be unbelievable.
It will be what a find for the scouting department, for everybody involved, to get Eric Haas and how successful he has been so far in a Brewers jersey. All right, Augie, we talked a lot this week. We're going to talk to you more later this week, too. We'll all move on. It's just worth one loss. Probably, now you can't clinch until Tuesday at the soonest, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But nonetheless, the Brewers are still in great shape. They still won a series against the Diamondbacks, and reload, you're going to see them again this weekend.
Yeah, Dom, I hope you can settle down a little bit, relax a little bit, go and have maybe a little drink or something so you can settle down. And we got a game tomorrow, and it all starts again tomorrow. Same intensity, a lot of things happen. The magic number is still 3. We got a ways to go yet, so today's over with. We turn the page, and tomorrow's going to be an exciting day.
The countdown is on 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Augie.
Anytime. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, back with more after this here on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
There's an active car fire on Brewers Boulevard southbound.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
There's a multi-vehicle accident on 45 northbound, just over Mayfair Road. Looks like the left 2 lanes are blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
There's a multi-vehicle accident. Looks like the left 2 lanes are blocked.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
How would you like to own a jewelry store?
Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy?
Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people.
Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now?
Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email.
Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's.
A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical. And talking with the owner, Nicole. Nicole, when you go with the maintenance plan, like I did, you tell me when it's time for you to come out.
Yes, and you should have already heard from us.
Yes, I got the furnace email.
Great. Our maintenance plan provides you with year-round, worry-free protection. The plan includes AC and furnace maintenance, plus 15% off any parts or service you might need.
Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall. Frustrating one here tonight, 11-10. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Brewers Extra Innings is also brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. And a reminder that for all veterans and seniors, they offer 5% off service year-round. Go to cider.com today to schedule your appointment. You got to mention this offer as well, though. Cider, S-E-I-D-E-R. You can schedule your appointment online, cider.com. Families helping families since 1912. We played a little snippet of Murph earlier. Now we'll play Murph in full after today's tough loss. The Brewers fall. We talked about Devin Williams plenty already to this point, so here's all of Pat Murphy's comments after today's loss.
That was a consensus decision. Devin's thrown a lot lately, and we got to think of, we're still in this 13-game stretch, and if we brought Devin in for one hitter, a specific hitter or something like that, we could have done it with 2 outs or something like that. He was available, but not for any extended period. So if you put him in the game with no outs or something like that, then there's potential he's got to throw a high number of pitches and he's not available. That would have been 4 out of 6, and then he wouldn't be available for a while. And we'd already used McGill, and we wanted to try to get through it. They had a lot of left-handed hitters coming. We wanted to get through it early, and if we got to 2 outs, then we could use Devin. Didn't work out that way. I mean, we had plenty of opportunities to do things, and that was the consensus. That's how we wanted to create it in the last inning. We had left-handed hitter and another left-handed hitter coming. We had to avoid Marte, but then we felt like it was
So it
didn't work out.
So was Devin only available for a hitter, not a full inning?
That's what I wanted. I wanted him to be available for a short period, if at all. So if we got to that 2-out period, I would have brought him in. And once we didn't, I knew Koenig had to roll up a double play there or something. So credit to the Diamondbacks. Let's do that. Credit to Diamondbacks. They lost a 5-0 lead. They hung in there.
Is there a significant difference between facing one batter, 5 pitches or 20 pitches, or also just getting up a couple times in the bullpen in terms of wear and tear?
Yeah, for sure. Being in a game is way different than being up in the bullpen. You know how to control yourself in a bullpen than whatever. So yes, big difference.
So at that point, with the bases loaded, you didn't want to use him for that one hitter? Well, but you just said he was there.
There was no outs, Barry.
Yeah, I know.
So he's going to get into it. To get out of that, he's going to get into a prolonged outing. Then you're not going to have him.
And there's nobody behind him, basically?
No.
But by bunting in the top of the 10th there, were you playing for a run? Because you've done that with Devin.
No, we were playing what was the best option there. I mean, we've done it with Devin sometimes, but I still wasn't thinking having Devin come in that inning, unless there was 2 outs or less, maybe 1 out and that type of thing. So it was more about, look, guys, the big thing was we can't just tear this bullpen up and have nobody to pitch for the next 2 days. So we're thinking more about, what was the best scenario. Koenig threw the ball good in that first part of that inning. We're like, okay, we're gonna stick with Koenig. That was a consensus among the pitching guys. Stick with Koenig. And then if we had to go to Devin for a real short increment, just to try to,
Did you think about Piamps for the 8th, maybe?
He couldn't come back out. He had forearm tightness, so he couldn't come back out. That changed everything. Yeah.
Is that going to be?
We don't know. We don't know. I have no idea. After he came out after facing one hitter, we said, you're going back in. He grabbed the pitching coaches and said, hey, my forearm's tight. So that changed everything.
Murph, how surprised were you to see them intentionally walk terrain to get to Churio, and then what he did on that first pitch?
I mean, I see what they were thinking. I see what they were thinking, but yeah, sometimes you play that hunch. Terang is, swinging the bat great in the last 3 days, so I think you play that hunch. I think they thought they had the right guy on the mound to get Churio out, and he had an opposite field ground ball, right inside the line. So it's not like, he got in the front zone, but yeah, that backfired on them, but they came back very strong. Credit goes to them.
Yeah, he turned around 103 into 110.
Yeah, the bottom line is you can make decisions and never have them backfired on you, or you can make decisions and they backfire. And today, Jared wasn't able to get through the next inning that I thought he could get a couple outs. Pitching guys thought he could get a couple outs with the lefty matchups. Didn't work out. Del Castillo put a great swing on a breaking ball that, I don't know. That's, he had thrown 4 fastballs at the time, so I could see him maybe going to that pitch, but yeah, it was in the middle of the zone. So credit Del Castillo for the hit, and Corbin Carroll was great at the end. He's a clutch performer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you were facing a bad team. Let's also talk about that, too. The Diamondbacks are a really darn good team. Number 1 offense in baseball by virtually every metric, okay? Keeping them down forever was going to be a tall task, and now you got to do them for 4 games next week here at home. We've got some highlights to play. There were some moments at one point the Brewers. How about this? Back-to-back games. The team that scored 8 unanswered runs didn't win the game. Baseball just doesn't make any sense sometimes. Highlights coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You probably don't have to replace those windows. If the frames are intact and it's just the glass that's cracked, or it's foggy, replacing thermal window panes with the help of Less's Glass will save you the cost of total window replacement. When you want to know how much we can save you, all you have to do is measure the height and width of just the glass portion of the window panes. Then send us an email to info@lessglassservice.com and we'll get you an estimate right away. Just be sure to specify if you'd like us to come out and replace your window pane on site, or if you'd like to do it in the most cost-effective way possible by bringing the windows into our shop. Either way, you're saving a lot of money versus a total window replacement that you probably don't need. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late-season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay-and-play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package requests early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Ready for this?
Get up!
This?
Get up!
And this?
Get out of here! Go!
Time for tonight's highlights. Here's Dominic Catronio.
Not a traditional highlight recap, given the Brewers lost this game 11-10 in 10 innings in what was one of the wackiest games of the year. It almost was the Brewers' largest comeback win of the year. They were down 5-0 until the kid Jackson Churio got a third look at Zach Gallen.
Fly ball, deep left field, going back is Smith at the track, looks up, it is gone! Jackson Churio, a 3-run shot, and the Brewers right back in this thing. It's 5-3 Diamondbacks. Number 21 on the season for Churio.
Amazing season, continues to get better for Jackson. Lane Grindle on the call there, and you heard him say it as such. You felt like you were in the game all of a sudden. So Zach Gallen was done after 5 innings, and just those 3 runs being to his ledger. In the 6th inning, the Brewers rally started with a 1-out walk to Joey Ortiz, but with 2 outs, Eric Haas was still at the plate with nothing to show for until this.
Ginkel kicks and the 1-1. Fly ball down the left field line. This is high. This is deep. It is gone. We are tied. Eric Haas 3 for 3 today. A hero out of the 9 spot.
What a shot for Haas, his 5th home run of the season. Vibes were great for the backup catcher, continuing to shock the world. They weren't done in the inning, and they weren't done against Ginkel. The rally continued. Turang, he had a 2-out single. Then an infield hit for Jackson Chourio. With 2 outs and 2 strikes, another backbreaker from who else but Willy Adames.
3-2 pitch, fly ball down the left field line. Smith racing into the corner. It lands in fair territory and rolls up against the wall. Turang is home. Chourio jogging home himself, and the Brewers have a 7-5 lead on a 2-run double by Adames.
Lane on the call again. It's been his show to this point in the program. So it's 7-5. They would add another on an RBI single from Sal Frelick, making it 8-5, but we've documented what went wrong with the bullpen today, as Ashby gave up 2 runs. McGill gave up a run in the 8th inning as well. That tied the game, sent it to extras in the top of the 10th inning. They intentionally walk Bryce Turang to have runners on first and second with 2 outs for Adrian Martinez, a flamethrowing righty, to face Jackson Chourio. You can guess how that ended.
First and second, 2 out. First pitch, ground ball, right side, base hit. Inside the bag at first and into the right field corner. Scoring is Ortiz. Right behind him, scoring is Turang. Relay to third is not in time. 2-run triple. Jackson Chourio delivers.
What a call from Josh Mauer. However, we all know how the bottom of the 10th ended to that point, as it escalated very, very quickly with an RBI double from Del Castillo and then the game-winning hit by Eugenio Suarez. Tough one, but the Brewers still won the series. We'll give you what to watch for, what to look out for in this coming 7-game homestand as we wrap up the program after this on 620 WTMJ.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions!
The Bucks in 6 podcast presents a special series commemorating the Bucks championship run in 2021. From the thrilling Game 7 overtime victory against the Nets.
Durant shooting, got it at the buzzer! No, it's a 2-pointer.
To the 50-point statement made by Giannis in the finals.
A 50-point game! That's the stuff of legend.
Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
They say to make yourself indispensable at work, so I developed a digital catering solution that only I can operate. Okay, it's actually EasyCater.com.
David!
excited.
They love me, because I, the director of catering logistics, not a real job, use Easy Cater to get catering from all our favorite restaurants. Tight budget? No problem. Need vegetarian options? Gluten-free? Check and check.
D-Man, you crushed lunch today.
It was easy. Easy Cater.
Easy Cater is your all-in-one tech platform for ordering food for work. Start your order at easycater.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Last couple minutes of the show. I'm Dom Catronio. Tough one. So, to recap everything that went down today, Devin Williams is only going to be available for a batter of 2. They got him loose, decided ultimately not to use him with Jared Koenig, rolling through the bottom of the 9th inning, no problem, and then got him up again in the 10th, didn't use him again, and Koenig lost the game in the bottom of the 10th. He's not solely to blame. Again, it's one of those games that you're just going to sit here scratching your head. You're like, it sucks. You wear it on the chin. But at the same time, Brewers had an 8-5 lead. Couldn't hold that one either. So it's one of those games, man. One of those games. Flush it quickly because you're on the plane right now coming back here to Milwaukee to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. A 3-game set this week. You're now 4 games back of them. They're the 1 seed. And again, the Phillies already swept the Brewers earlier this year. If you do the impossible and sweep them again, all of a sudden you're going to jam-pack this number 1 seed race. And oh, by the way, Dodgers and Braves, that game is still tied. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-2 right now, Dodgers and Braves. So the Brewers can hopefully get some help from the Braves and have the Dodgers fall still to just a game ahead of the Brewers in this final 2-week stretch to decide who could get the seat. There is still stuff to play for. The Central is done for, just with the exception of getting it officially called, right? To officially call the race with the magic number being 3. So mathematically, the Brewers cannot clinch the division tomorrow. The best they can do is get the magic number down to 1. That would happen with a Brewers win and an A's win over the Cubs as they begin a 3-game set at Wrigley tomorrow night. So keep that in mind as the magic number continues to improve, but they're at home for 7 as the Brewers get ready to go against these Phillies once again and against the Diamondbacks. This is going to be a massive, massive week for the Crew. And then you finally get that final off day a week from tomorrow, next Monday night. We got a lot of texts today all about the Devin Williams stuff. Wasn't able to read all of them, but I do appreciate everybody who came into the program today, hanging out with us, and hope we informed you in some way, shape, or form, and you learned something about this one tonight, because that was literally the overwhelming thing. Everyone just wanted to ask about Devin. He was warming up, didn't come into the game, the Brewers lost. That's it. We'll put it in the toilet, we'll flush it, and we'll move on tomorrow to figure things out of what's going to happen here for the Brewers in this Central and in the National League. So the Brewers will have Aaron Savali get the ball tomorrow, and he's been fantastic for the Crew. Savali will go for the Brewers, and they're facing the best for the Phils. Ranger Suarez will get the ball tomorrow, talented left-hander for Philadelphia. That game is at 6:40 tomorrow. Then on Tuesday, the Brewers will give it to Frankie Montas, and he'll go up against Zach Wheeler. So he's been great. He was the runner-up to Corbin Burns' Cy Young back in 2021. He has been pitching fantastic for the Phillies, just got an extension for him. And then on Wednesday, also at 6:40, it will be Aaron Nola for the Phils up against Freddie Peralta, which is significant because that means they're keeping Freddie on normal rest and moving Colin Ray back to the Diamondbacks series. His last start was last Wednesday against the Giants. So that's what's coming up here for the Crew. That's going to do it for me. My thanks to our producer, Evan Witalison, working hard tonight with us as well. I'm Dominic Catronio. A 4-hour game tonight. That was a tough one. Wear it on the chin. Move on for tomorrow. Until then, keep on swinging.
Lance Saijon died as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. His memory has been maintained in a replica of his fighter jet at the Milwaukee